Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 21 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So in the last episode, we set up sulfur and sulfuric acid. And if you're enjoying my content, you know what to do. So in this episode, we are going to be making a red circuit build. So I need to collect some supplies real quick, as I mentioned at the end of the last episode. Yeah, I definitely need belts, that's for sure. We're probably gonna have to take a look at research too, so I will do that shortly. We're gonna need some undergrounds. That's right, some long hand inserters. What else do we need? Maybe some power poles. That will do it. Okay. So let's get over to where we are doing... Oh, there goes the iron. That would be the iron ore up here. Gotta love those red belts. They just eat through that. There is a little bit of a downside to that though, so I will cover that shortly. Alright, so this is where we are going to be setting up the red circuits. But before we get into that, let's take a look at research. So let's go ahead and do blue science, because that will be coming up shortly. After today, we have all of the components that we need to make blue science. Right? Yes, we can make engines, we can make sulfur, and we will be able to make advanced circuits, red circuits. So let's do that. Let's get the inserter capacity. I don't think that we will be able to get these two initially, but let's just queue those up and see what happens. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're a little bit pressed for time. Not really pressed for time. But now that this is mined out completely, we are no longer going to be able to make red and blue science or red and green sciences over here outside of what we already have kind of like queued up and piled up. Wait, why is this still going? Oh, did it not count this one? Ah, that's funny. Alright, so this should have been mined out. This is the last of the ore coming through. Which means that the days are numbered for this little starter base. Okay, so let's get into red circuits. So I am going to have 2 belts coming in, and I'm going to have 1 belt coming out. This was the perfect place for that. You know what? It was a great idea. Alright, so I'm going to copy the lengths for this and use map view, and I'm just going to hold shift and kind of just move this all the way down. It's not going to work with this section here because I did not set this up right. And I will need to extend a lot of these at some point. Okay, so what do we need in? So let's set up our parameters. So for red circuits, we need plastic, which we have just created. We need green circuits, which we have plenty of, and we need copper cable. So we need 0.5 copper cable per second. So how many copper cable can we make? We can make 3 per second. That means that the ratio for how many copper cables we need to how many red circuits we need is 1 to 6. So if we have copper cables here, we can fit this exact ratio within the area that we need. So when we start bringing stuff in, this will be copper, and this will be our plastic and green circuits. All of the copper will just come right off the line here. And yeah, sure, why not? And this will output on a belt here, which means that this is not going to be able to set up. This will not work. We are going to have to do something different. No. Oh my goodness. We'll just pull these back for now. I technically need this. Okay. And remove the measuring stick. So we are now going to have green circuits in plastic coming in from the backside. We are going to have copper cable coming in from the front side and out the middle. We are going to have the output with, unfortunately, a long-hand inserter. Can't win them all. Okay, and that is our build. Just kidding, that's not all of it. So let's copy this. And we're going to hit V to vertically flip. So this is going to be kind of the same, but kind of different. Whoops. Just going to hold shift. So all of the inserters will end up being reversed. Because now we have red circuits coming out. So the copper cable, I probably could have just done like the copper cable on this side. You know what? I think I like that better. This will still be fine. So if I do the copper cable on the outside, then it can just be here like this. And that will free up one section in the middle. Yep. And then I get to keep my full length. Yay. Okay, so these need to all be flipped. So this is bringing in green circuits here, so these need to go in this direction to bring in the green circuits in the plastic, and the others need to go output to put the red circuits on this the top. These will bring in the copper wire, and since this is since this belt here is only bringing in copper wire, we can in fact do what we've done and share the belts. I'm not sure how far I want to go with this, maybe a little bit more. Hi, Future Auto here. So as I was editing the video, I was trying to pay attention to where I made mistakes that I end up catching later. So one of the mistakes that I made was this inserter never got placed. I end up catching a lot of this, and I don't remember exactly what episode, but it is coming in the near future. And then another mistake that I made was that all of these inserters are facing the wrong direction. Yeah, but as I was editing the video and I saw that I made these mistakes, I started looking at this and I was like, wait a minute. I feel like this is kind of wrong. So I don't know if I just did the math wrong or if I just never did the math, or I don't know. Like making the red circuit video, I was pretty tired, so I was kind of out of it. But anyways, as you can see here, we have 72 assemblers making red circuits. And if you look on the right hand side, we have 0.25 plastic and green circuits being consumed. And that just doesn't work. Oh, I thought I had my calculator up. 72 times 0.25 is 18. So we would need 18 plastic and 18 green circuits per second. And this is going on a red belt, so we are only capable of moving 15 per second of each of those. So yeah, this was kind of a mistake, and whatever, it is what it is. All you would need to do is just not have anything on this top row. I honestly don't end up catching this, so it is what it is. It's going to be there in the future videos. Once we upgrade to blue belts, it won't be that much of an issue. But yeah, I just wanted to jump in here real quick and correct those. Okay, back to the video. And this is going to be our red circuit build. It is still quite chunky, but I like this much better than the way that I've done it in the past. It feels way better. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so we also need to set up our power poles. So we really should have done that before. That would have been, you know, the smart thing to do, but whatever. Can we just go ahead and connect here? Yep. Now we can clearly see how far in we need to go. And I believe these will all line up just fine. Oh, we're gonna be just shy. The things I do to make things somewhat tidy. Okay, anyways, I'm fine with it. And then this one is actually going to cover all of these, so we could probably just group this up a little different. You know what? Let's just stamp some of this down, and we will worry about the other stuff after. At least if we have all the blinking, like, hey, this isn't going to work, or we don't have power coming in lights, then it'll be a little bit easier to set up. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. We got there. See how that starter base is coming along. Yep, we are out of red science. And that is not a problem. I am always very happy when we like completely mine out sections of the starter base. That way we can kind of just divert all of this back over to wherever we need it, really. Whoops. Okay, so the power. That was not necessary, and I feel like none of this is lining up properly, but whatever, it's fine. So let me just take this whole like section of 2. You know what? Whatever. Doesn't matter. So I'm not going to worry about, like, normally I double up on this, so I'm not going to worry about that just yet. We can deal with that at a later time. If we end up being short on red circuits, then we can easily double up on these by having a build next door. I'm not really sure yet, though, if, like, I might end up reversing it and having it also kind of come over to the single line. I don't know. We'll see. Kind of like I've always said, we will cross that bridge when we get there. Oh, wait, that's our output. I was like, no, I can't have it going out that far. So in the next episode, we are definitely going to have to start working towards sciences. So maybe at the end of this one, we can really kind of put together exactly what all we're going to need. Or sorry, like relocate everything. Like, where's everything going to go? Oh my gosh, this build is so huge. Okay, is that everything besides power poles and getting in the green circuits and plastic? I think so. All right, so let's do this. Get the inserters for the copper cable. Oh. Sure. Almost seems like a waste to have a whole power pole just for one inserter, but whatever. It is what it is. Okay, and we are there. This is just going to end. Again, if we needed to expand this later, it would just be a simple something like that. I'm not too worried about it right now. I generally don't expand or don't feel like I need to expand these anyways, but I'm just going to leave this kind of open, like just in case. So we need inserter on there. That one's there. So now we just need power and we need to hook everything up. I should have almost just run up through. Run it up through the middle before I put the belts in. Nope. Okay, and then nope. Oh my goodness. Yay, we're gaming. Let's go. Okay, and that is our red circuit build. Let's just move. We'll just move that there. And red circuits are going to come down, and they are next to the green circuits, which is here. So this is going to be... we're going to back this up a little bit. Normally I have these like... normally I have like all of the green stuff made already, so I don't have to... So I don't have the chance to just break them up. Anyways. And then this is going... We're going to end up connecting that to our mall, and then we have a lot of extra stuff that is good to go. Okay, so let's get the copper in, which is going to come from here. Every time we split the copper, we need a full line of input priority or output priority coming out this way. So I think we have 4 belts set up, right? Yeah. And then we need plastic and we need green circuits. Oh my gosh, my green circuits are way back here. I need to grab some more belts. And if we're short here, we will have some more ready to go at the starter base. That's probably plenty. Maybe, we'll see. The amount of times that I delete one of those splitters just by placing belts on it is crazy. Happens all the time. I know it's about to happen and then I just, boop, do it anyways. Alright, how far down do we need to go? A little bit more? Somewhere in here. Let's see. I did wait. Okay, nope, I messed up. I did not set these up right. I was about to say, this, I shouldn't have been able to reach this, but... you know what? Actually, I just thought of something. I think I might start doing this different. How can I do this different? We don't want to see the same old stuff, so I want this to go over. Nope, that's not gonna work. I would have to have this back one more. So this lane is coming here, going underground. This one goes underground. And then these would have to be like this. This would have to be output priority right. If I did it this way, then I wouldn't have to worry about stuff being in the way with the undergrounds and the max extent. So, you know what? Maybe I'll just start doing that from now on. It's a little bit more expensive with the undergrounds, but it'll be fine. And I would have to remember to always priority output right for these guys to make sure that they're coming out this way and the leftovers are going underground. I think that'll be fine though. I kind of like that. All right. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I just totally messed that up. Go me. Alright, I'm gonna scoop all of this off the belt. Wait a minute, which side is it gonna be? It's gonna be on the left. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this. Whoops. Okay, so that's part one. Oh my gosh, like I never thought to like do this like reverse split underground shenanigans. That's gonna cause like that's gonna save so many headaches that I generally have doing setups like this. Okay, so now we need to get plastic in here. And I just ran out of underground belts. Nice. It is probably not really necessary to do the same thing here. We can just have a single splitter. No, I am gonna need to do. Okay, hold on. If I did the same thing here, it would look like this. Okay. Alright, so let's go get some more underground belts. I don't think I can just handcraft any. Yeah, we'll just go get more. It won't take us too long. Our poor red belt assembly machine is just going and going. on the gears. Well, once we get some red circuits over here and get the green inserters going, that will alleviate a lot of this. For now, it's fine. Like I said, we've got a little bit of a bank over by the starter base, so that is not a problem. Where was I? We're going to plastic. Plastic was down here. I love this idea. Like, I can't believe I never thought of this before. But, whatever. Okay, get the plastic in there and make sure this is running properly. And then we're going to hook up the red circuits to the bus. Sorry, not the bus. The mall. Why doesn't this one have green circuits? Mm-hmm. You know how I'm always mentioning, hey, double check your work? Yeah. Okay, so that is functioning. We have red circuits coming out. As long as this side is working, all these are working, that will eventually compress. Once this gets fully saturated. Okay, so let's go get the red circuits that we are now producing. Let's get this over to the mall. And then we are going to end it there. Or end it after that. How close do we need to be? So thankfully we already have a little bit of a setup. Now, this looks like it's gonna be a little bit of a problem getting it in. But that's okay. What if we do kind of the same thing that we just did? This would need to be farther back. So let's say that we did... like that. And then if we needed... well, we don't need blue circuits to come back this far. But if we did, it would just be like that. As a matter of fact, this whole line can probably just go bye-bye. This continues on. Jeez, man. 2,500 hours, and I did not even think to do something like that. I guess it would have been fine doing this too, but... whatever. And this is... okay, so this is coming in here. Look it! I was nice enough to... wait a minute. I don't think we... you know what? Whatever, just in case. Alright, we have red circuits going through. The things that are going to need red circuits are on their way. Okay, so we are going to end it there. In the next episode, we are going to start making some science. So let's just map out real quick. Like, what is this going to look like? So my general, like the way I'm kind of thinking is that we can work around this copper if we need to, or we can work over it. It doesn't really matter. So let's just say that we have like rockets like this. I don't know, something like that. Some of the components for rockets will be like this, that, and what is the other one? Rocket fuel. Like that. And then we can have an area for like a cargo landing pad, stuff coming in. I don't know. If we did it back here, that wouldn't be too much of a hassle or too much of a problem. That would allow us to bring in sciences up to I don't know, let's say here, here, or here. Let's just give ourselves 4 quadrants. We're not going to use 4 city blocks, but let's just space it out like we will. Just make sure we have some extra room. And then red science will be here. Green science will be something like that. I'm not really sure about military science because there might be some changes happening with that soon. So I might try to hold off until those changes do or don't happen. I don't want to build this and then have things change and my recipe get ruined or my build get ruined. Anyway, so that's more or less how the bottom is going to look. All of these components here go into making the rocket parts, and then we would bring in sciences from other planets. Yes, there are more sciences. Bring in more sciences from the other planets and research them here. And we would bring in items. So the idea of having everything come off the top was that I wouldn't have too many like congesting sections like this. Obviously, I still have a lot of them, but they are all kind of, for the most part, going in the one direction. They're going up. So I was thinking that maybe with the sciences, and I don't know how this would end up working, but instead of taking them from the front space, all of the materials coming down would be taken from the right-hand side. So we would have materials, say, coming in this direction, coming in this direction, coming in this direction, like on the right-hand side, and have the output either cross along the roboports we have here, or more realistically, kind of meet in the back here somewhere and travel, let's say like maybe somewhere in this direction and come into the research labs. Okay, so that is it for me for this episode. I will see you in the next episode, and thanks for watching.